Dragi gledalci Zvezda TV, vreme je za još jedno izdanje emisije Indirekt. Pravo je vreme i pravo mesto da još bolje upoznamo Marka Stamenića. On je neko koji je ukrao srce svim zvezdašima odmah po dolasku u naš klub i neko ko nosi vrlo interesantnu priču, što životnu, što fudbalsku. Znate da ćemo danas više govoriti o onim životnim stvarima, da ćemo malo ostaviti fudbal po strani i pokušati da ga predstavimo iz što boljeg ugla, kako biste imali utisak da ste upravo i vi na kafi sa Markom Stamenićem. First of all, welcome and thank you for your time. I can say in the beginning that you were very satisfied to come here. You weren't busy, you didn't have enough time and everything. So is it always so easy to make a deal with you?
No, it's a pleasure to work with you and the team. I think it's important also for, you know, in some way to give back and to show people how we live as professionals and to demonstrate how life can be for them as well, and aspiring athletes for young kids, young boys in particular, and looking up to us. So it's a pleasure to be here.
It seems like you're always thinking that you should be a role model, that there are young people who maybe look up to you. So is it maybe that you're always so caring, and is it some part of your personality actually?
Yeah, I think I had a really good upbringing from my family, and I think they taught me a lot of good values, and I was around a lot of good people growing up. So I think one of the key ones was just do good onto others as they'll do good onto you. So I like to use that as a sense of good karma as well. Do good things, and good things will come back to you. And I'm always keen to helping and looking after people, especially those who are close around me as well. So yeah, I think it's important in life to do that as well.
This is a great message, and this is just the beginning. So I can see that we'll have a lot of interesting topics to speak about today. So maybe the first thing that everybody, I think, asks you here: how is it to live in New Zealand, and how different it is from Serbia?
Yeah, I think it's in some way some similarities. I think the nature and everything is very unique in New Zealand. I think it's one of a kind in the whole world. So that's a sort of difference I see with the architecture and the buildings. But in terms of the people, I think it's very similar. I think people are very warm and welcoming, and they like to say hi on the streets and good morning. I'm always around here in this area, and whenever I'm walking, people are always saying good morning and good afternoon and things like that. So I think that brings a bit of home from me, for me, from New Zealand.
It sounds for us that New Zealand is some exotic country, very different from the things that are common to us. How would you describe your homeland?
Yeah, and in some ways it is exotic, but it's very similar, I think, climate to Serbia, especially in the summer. The Christmas is summer, and the Christmas here is, I don't know if it's snow or not, but that's a key difference in the climate change during the year. But other than that, it's pretty similar, yeah.
What would you say are the main things that represent New Zealand for somebody who never been there, and of course who didn't have the opportunity to see so many things about it?
I think the main thing is the culture. I think we have so much rich culture, and also when we were growing up, I think the schools really try to drill that into you at a young age about knowing the ancient history about the country, and small things like the Treaty of Waitangi. I don't know if you're aware of that, and how the whole New Zealand came to be. And I think the haka, everyone knows about the haka. I think that's something that everywhere I go to, I'm asked about, oh, can you do the haka? And I have to tell them, yeah, I can, but I'm not going to do it for you, sorry. But no, it's a country full of rich culture, and I'm really proud to be a part of it.
How did your childhood look like?
My childhood was very, very peaceful and very nice. I have so much good memories from school, from friends, from football, from family, and I just remember the Easters and the Christmas when I get to spend time with my cousins that I don't see very often because we live quite far away in different parts of New Zealand. So I remember those days being so special to see them again and to spend time with them. And it's even more special now when I get to go home after not being there for so long. But yeah, my childhood was really, really good. I had such a good family, and my parents yeah, they really looked after us and gave us a really good life. So I'm really happy for that.
Football is not a common thing in New Zealand. How it come that it's your sport?
I think I definitely got it from my dad. Growing up in Serbia, he was a big football fanatic, so he liked to play a bit of football with his friends and watch a few games. So when he came to New Zealand and had me, he obviously tried to get me into football, and I think my mum was trying to get me into rugby because Samoan genes are to be big and big boys, and I was born to be quite a skinny and tall boy, so I fit the football criteria quite well. And as the years got by, my dad encouraged me to play even more football, and yeah, I was really enjoying it, and I continued to do it, and now I'm here.
Did you have friends playing football with you, or everybody wanted to play rugby?
Yeah, well, you know, it's in school you hang out with the football boys, and the rugby boys hang out with the rugby boys. So all of my best friends that I still contact today, they played a little bit of social football at the time, and you know, when you're 10 years old, you think I'm Ronaldo, I can be good. And I think a lot of my friends, if they're seeing this, they'll laugh at it, but they all thought they were really good, and they are good, but I think yeah, I took it a little bit more serious than them, and but I'm really happy they supported me throughout the whole process. It was difficult because I wasn't able to see them so much, and that's why I'm saying this, because it was really tough. They would have birthdays and parties and events where they would all be together, and I had football training, or I had a game the next day, and unfortunately I couldn't go there. So those moments were a bit difficult for me to miss out on. But in the end, it's nice to see them once a year, and when I go back home, and we laugh about how all of those times that I missed are now worth it, and we get to see each other, and it's even more special.
You have to be really mature to understand that you should have a training, not go to the birthday party. How it was when you were a kid, and was it hard?
Yeah, it wasn't hard for me, because I knew in the end of the day that football was what I wanted to do in life, and if that's the decision that I made, which I did, then I knew that I had to make a lot of sacrifices for that, and one of those being missing out on parties, and making the right decisions with food and alcohol, and staying up late or going to bed early. So all of these things I had the help of my parents, and we had a family meetings where we would sit down and discuss that is this what you want to do, Marko? And I said to them, yes, this is what I want to do in life, and they said that they would fully support me no matter what, and they've done that for my whole life, and I'm really happy, and that's the reason why I'm here today.
So it's thanks to your parents. I told in the beginning no football, but it comes in this conversation. So what are the main things that people in New Zealand are doing? What did your parents do? Did they have time to actually spend time with you, to go to the trainings with you, and to maybe, as you said, support you?
Yeah, I think my mum and dad would alternate between driving me to training. So I had some trainings 30 minutes away from where we lived. And they were at crazy hours of the day. Some were at 6 o'clock in the morning, just before school, because we had to do both. It was important to do school, and it was important to do training. So my academy compensated for both, and my parents would wake up early and sacrifice their time in the beginning of their work to drop me off to training. And I remember those moments being very special. You know, 30 minutes with your mum and dad at the time might be a bit annoying when they're talking all the time, but I'm looking back at it now and missing it a lot, and really happy that they sacrificed so much for me to drop me off at training when I couldn't obviously drive at that age. So yeah.
What were you talking to you in that period of time when they're driving you to training?
Oh, I think for my dad particularly, I think he loves to give me football advice, and as me being a naive young kid, I would always tell him, Dad, you don't know about football, like I know more about it than you, and it was stupid from me, but yeah, but it's really funny to look back on, and I know my dad will watch this and laugh at it, and we'll laugh about it soon. Yeah.
So you can say you were right to your dad now?
No, I think he's I know he will continue giving me advice as long as I play football, so, and I like it as well. I know me and my dad have a special relationship with football, and I learn a lot from him. I think he understands the game quite well, and yeah, I'm happy to have someone like that with me.
How did you spend your summer holidays?
Summer holidays we had from, I think it was late November until my birthday, which was sort of middle of February. We had that off, so we would spend a lot of time at the beach. It was even more nice having a car at the time because I was able to drive with friends, and my sister was also had time off because she was in school as well, and me and my sister would hang out a lot. But yeah, it was really spent playing football and swimming in the beach and enjoying the hot weather. Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we speak about your parents, how they support you. Did they maybe force you to study more? How it goes with school? That period?
Yeah, they were really encouraging me to focus on school, and I'm really happy I did that because I think school teaches you a lot about discipline, and also education is important to have to fall back on maybe after your career. If you finish, then it's something to fall back on and have that education in the back of your head. But yeah, I was really grateful for that because I think sometimes, you know, as a young kid you think, oh, I want to do football, I don't need school. But I think school teaches you a little bit more than the maths and the sciences and the English. It teaches you a schedule of waking up early and going to school and being disciplined and working hard, and I think that's sort of the key values that I use in football nowadays. So I think that was important for me.
What was your favorite subject? School?
Sports. Sports. Yeah, besides sports, probably math. Yeah, I liked math.
So the education is very important. That's what you like to emphasize all the time. How much it helped you, and how much it helped you to, you know, it wasn't easy to study, go to training early, but it has to be done.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it was quite full on, especially my last 5 years in school and high school. Waking up early, going to training, and then I would come late to school because I had training and I had to catch up 2 hours more than what everyone else was doing on top of another training in the afternoon. So it was really hard to fit in time when are you going to do the homework, when are you going to study. So there was a lot of weekends where I would miss out on free time because I would need to catch up on school, and my parents would help me with that. And I think it was important because you can't sacrifice everything for the football. I needed to have some sort of structure within it. So yeah, I was really happy that I could do both and finish them both. Yeah.
And it sounds like a perfect combination for you. We spoke a little before we recorded. It's easy to keep for you to speak. How did your parents, actually your father, went to New Zealand? It's very interesting when we hear that somebody from Serbia came that far.
Yeah, I think it was when he was 20 years old, a rough 25, 30 years ago, when there was some Yugoslavia war, and his family decided to, our family, my baba and deda and my dad and sister, they decided to leave Yugoslavia at the time, and I think they must have been looking for the furthest country that they could find because they ended up in New Zealand. A lot of their family, a close family, also moved to Canada, but they decided to come to New Zealand and start a life there and start from fresh. Then not so long after, my dad was learning English. He didn't know how to speak anything, so it was really difficult for them to find jobs. But they learnt it, and soon after he found my mum and had me not so long after. So it was quite an interesting story, and it's nice that I get to come back to Serbia to, you know, live through what he lived through a few 25, 30 years ago, and see how life was in Serbia and where my roots are from. So it's really nice to be here.
It must be very hard for your father. Did he speak with you about this period of time and about his childhood? What are the things that he's saying about our country?
Yeah, he says, you know, like Yugoslavia back in the time was probably the most beautiful country in the whole world with everything. And yeah, he speaks really highly of Serbia as well, and just about memories with his summer house in Croatia and on the Adriatic Sea and swimming and everything. So yeah, a lot of fond memories he had, and he would share with us.
Did you enjoy these things that he was speaking, or you were like, I'm a kid, I don't care about that?
I think at the time I was definitely like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
But no, I definitely asked him, you know, when there was the possibility of coming to Serbia, I asked him a bit about it, about family who are still here and where to go and what to see, and I think he really helped with that, and he's actually, my whole family are going to come soon, so it'll be nice to look through Belgrade, Novi Sad is where he's from, to all together.
It's much different these days. You will see that when he comes, but you told that he never expected you to come to Serbia.
No, exactly. I think that's probably one of the reasons that I unfortunately didn't learn Serbian from him, was probably because he never thought in a million years that his son would come from New Zealand and play for Red Star and or live in Serbia. So it's a big dream of a young kid to come to Europe. Not only that, but to play football and do what they love. Yeah, I don't know. My dad definitely didn't think that at the time, but no, it's definitely dreams do come true, and I'm happy for that.
You mentioned your family here in Serbia, so who is here? Are you in touch with them since you came to Belgrade?
Yes, I live very close to my uncle, and he has a son who is very close to my age, so I'm with them quite a lot, and they definitely helped with the transition from to Serbia, and I'm really grateful for them. I'm still in contact with them, and I have dinner from time to time, and we watch sports. They come to my games, and yeah, it's a really good relationship we have. And there's also family in villages, small villages, a couple hours away from Belgrade, and some in Novi Sad as well. So it's nice to reconnect with some of those people that were very close to my dad.
Since you came to Belgrade, you have a whole new family here.
Yes.
Do you feel like a Serbian a little bit now?
A little bit, yeah. I think there's small mannerisms that I'm picking up on, the good ones, I think, but we'll see if the bad ones will come soon.
We'll see what really your father say.
Yeah, exactly. We'll
and how about your mother? She's never been here, and what did you tell her about Serbia, about Belgrade?
Yeah, I told her good things. Like, she always asked me, how was it, son? How was training? How was Belgrade? And
Are you hungry?
Yeah, you want me? Yeah, I know. She wants to send me, you know, care packages of, you know, snacks that I used to love back in New Zealand. But I have to tell her, no, Mum, I can't eat those right now. I'll wait till December when I come home. But no, it's really nice, and I can't wait to see my mum and dad and little sister as well. And yeah, I only have good high things to say and good things about Belgrade to say to them, and they're looking forward to seeing it as well.
It's not because we are here, but you would say Belgrade is a really nice city. What do you like to do here?
Me and my girlfriend, we like to go and just explore the parks and different places that we see. We like photography, and we like to go to these parks to take photos, and as you know, girlfriends like photos of themselves as well, so I take some of her, and
so you're the best boyfriend.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, we also I think the food here is really good, and we like to get out of the house. I think we're in the house so much, and it's also very nice weather at the time, so I think it's important for us to get out and do things and meet new people and connect with different cultures that we're not used to. So I think it's really nice being in Belgrade. Yeah.
The favorite food that you tried here?
There's so much good food, particularly cevapi, pleskavica. Like, these are the traditional Balkan food that my dad loves. So
maybe
yeah.
Your mother made it for you when you were young in
Yeah,
New Zealand, or no?
No, they did. They made a lot of cevapi.
Really?
Yeah, they did. They actually taught me how to make it, so I need to put that to the test soon. But yeah, a lot of good food here, a lot of different food. But I particularly like the Balkan food, but I have to be careful with it because it's you can get a little bit chubby if you have too much. So yeah, I'm careful with my food.
There are a lot of sweets here. Do you eat it, or you try not to?
No, I'm definitely trying not to. I've tried a few. Nothing in particular my favorite, because I think they're all very nice. But yeah, I definitely am careful with the sweets. Yeah.
Then don't try. Don't try all of it.
It's better not to try.
Was it hard to change and to come to Serbia, to Belgrade? There are a lot of common things, I guess, with the previous country where you were living, but also there are some different.
Yeah, I think, you know, in Serbia, I think the people like the southern mentality in Europe is more warm and more happy, and not saying where I was before was not happy, but I think yeah, I think Serbians are more open and more warm-hearted, and it's nice to, like I said before, you can walk on the street and you can talk to a random person you never met before and act like you've known them for a year or something. And I think that's the biggest change, but it's also just, it's a lot different because I have family here, and I think I have a bit of Serbian blood in me, so I feel more at home, like this is my second home from New Zealand. So yeah, I'm really enjoying my time here.
How many times during the day you have to take a photo with the fans?
Oh, that's a good question. On average, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Are you happy to see fans, and are you amazed by the fact that people here love football so much? You know, it's not an ordinary thing for people in Serbia, especially for Red Star fans.
Yeah, no, I love it even more because I can see that they are obsessed with the sport just as much as I am, and they're so passionate about it. You can see it with our fans when we play football, and they're screaming and shouting, and bombs are going off, fireworks are going off. It's amazing. I'm really happy to have such a fan base like we have in Zvezda. So and as a player, it's even more special to know that there's so much support around you, not only in Belgrade, but I've been to Subotica, I think, and there were a few fans there that knew me and knew the club and supported us, and even our pre-season games in Zlatibor, there were fans there, and it's I think it's a world-renowned club that a lot of fans of.
I know they're very happy that they can see you, but can you explain us a little bit how is it to change your whole life? Let's get to the point. We speak about your life in New Zealand, we're speaking about you in Serbia now, but at some point when you were very young, you had to change everything. How did you decide that, and what are the qualities that you had at that time so you could adapt?
Yeah, I think it was really tough for me at first to move countries, especially the one that I've been staying in for the last 17, 18 years. I think it was tough because I had everything in New Zealand. I had my friends, my family, yeah, everything was there. So to move to Denmark first was really tough. Not knowing the language, the culture being different, the people being different. But I think that these are the sort of values that you pick up on and you grow from, because you have so much to learn from these situations, being uncomfortable. And I think that's what I say all the time. I want to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think that's one of the key values that I've picked up on over the years to use for my next move, which was to come to Serbia. I think it's a bit different with Serbia because I'm familiar with the culture from my dad. I also have family here. But I think when it comes to football and coming into a new environment and new faces and new people, it's important to be out there and connect with your players and almost become like a family. So I think those are one of the key things that I learned from, is putting myself out there and showing who I am, and hopefully for them to accept me for who I am, and for me to also accept them for who they are. So I think those are one of the key values that I learned growing up.
What do you do in these situations when you feel uncomfortable? How did you get along with that?
Yeah, then I'll have to go into some science, but I do a lot of things outside of football. Like I like to meditate and a lot of breathing, and yeah, like I said, a lot of science behind it. But yeah, I focus a lot of things that help me on the field, stuff that I do outside of the field. So such as eating and sleeping and all of these things, knowing in the back of your head that you've done everything right to perform at your best, and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think, yeah, that's one of the things I've learned, how to deal with it.
And what do you do in your free time? Let's get these easy topics. What do you like? How do you like to spend your time, actually?
I like to spend it with family if they're here. Obviously, my girlfriend, when she's with me full time. So yeah, we like to get out of the house and do some things together. See friends with the club and go out for coffee. And like I said before, we're with Omri and Shera a lot. And yeah, we like to watch football or Champions League. And I know that Shera and my girlfriend get along well, so we spend a lot of time outside of football. But things that I do myself is DJing. Like that's a little hobby that I do, and yeah, simple things like watching a movie, watching a TV series like anyone else. Yeah.
So we'll be speaking a little bit about these simple things. But first, DJing. It doesn't sound like it's simple. How did you get to know DJing, and what is your favorite kind of music that you like to play?
So it started when COVID came about. So I was in Europe, and then I came back to Europe, and then there was quite a few months. I think the whole world was shocked through COVID, where there was 2-3 months on a standstill. So I wanted to pick up a hobby to keep my brain working, especially I'd finished school, so I didn't have any more homework, thank God for that. And so I picked up DJing, and I like music a lot. I like all genres, but particularly house music. At the time there was a lot of drum and bass happening in New Zealand, but my personal favorite was house music and techno, so I was just mixing them and training, and then coming home, eating, sleeping, and then doing some DJing and just learning a skill to keep myself busy. And over the years I used it as a sort of thing after training. When I was in Denmark, I brought it with me. I would go to training, and then I would come home and do a bit of DJing and making some music, and no, it was really fun. And unfortunately my DJ set is in Copenhagen at the moment, but I'm looking to bring one or get a new one in Belgrade and start it up again.
Is there some person that can say you're a good DJ? Somebody who's listening to your music?
Probably my girlfriend maybe, but I don't even think she would say I'm good. But no, I think a lot of my friends have picked up on it as well, so it's nice when I go home and there's something like in common that, you know, after being away from someone for so long, it's yeah, you have a year to catch up of things that have happened, but it's also nice to sit down and DJ, and we can talk, and we're in off season, maybe have a drink or something, and I think it's important and a nice way to reconnect with my friends.
Can we see you as a DJ when you finish your football career?
Oh, we'll see. I've seen Shaq O'Neal, the basketball player, become a DJ after his career, so there's nothing stopping me from doing that, but yeah.
But that's one thing that I would like to know. When you were young, sorry for going back, but when you were young, did you expect to become a football player, or you maybe wanted to be something else? You know, when we are kids, we want a lot of different things.
Yeah, no, I don't think like thinking back of what I wanted to be. I think I always remember saying to myself, I want to become a football player, full-time professional. But I think it didn't come from a very young age, but I think it was around 12, 13 when I really started to take it, maybe 14, where I started to take it serious, that I watched the World Cup with my dad, and we would wake up early in those hours and watch it. And I remember saying to him, you know, I want to be there. I want to be playing with these type of players, and playing on the Champions League stage every year, and that's what I'm aspiring to do, and thank God that I'm doing that this year again. So yeah, I think the dream was always to become a professional football player.
So you didn't want to become a doctor, an astronaut, and the things that kids want?
No, I don't think so. Maybe my mum and dad could tell you otherwise, but no, I remember being always very keen to become a football player.
And what did first your mother wanted you to become? Was she also for that idea to become a football player, or she had another plans for you?
I think my mum was very easy. I don't think she was forcing me to become anything but myself. So she was very, very supportive, and yeah, she was just cruising along and supporting me throughout anything that I was doing. Yeah.
It's very nice. She'll support you as a DJ, of course.
Exactly. If I wanted to be anything, she would support me. So yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, that is very nice. Except DJing, I know that you're very good. I'm just joking. But can you tell me? You mentioned some movies, some TV shows. What do you like to watch? What are the things that you are interested in?
Yeah, a lot of I think crime and mystery type TV series. I think we watched one called Hijack, where it was about a plane getting hijacked and sort of things like that. Not too much of a fan of horror movies, but yeah, the reality TV shows is what we watch sometimes. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the old movies actually. What is it? Yeah, I have a list of them, but I can't remember now. But yeah, just a lot of the old movies. I think they have more meaning, and yeah, it's nice to watch those.
Except these things, is there something that you like to do? Maybe like to cook, to clean your home, or something like that?
Yeah, I love to cook. I love to cook with my girlfriend. I think it's important to share the responsibility. Sometimes I come home and I'm too tired to do it, and my girlfriend has to make food. But no, I like to share the responsibility of cleaning as well. I remember my whole childhood, every Friday I had to clean the whole house if I wanted to go to, I don't know, training or whatever. But no, I remember cleaning every Friday with my mum, and I think it's nice to, when I clean at my own apartment, I feel better about it, and it also reminds me of when I was younger and cleaning my home and bringing those back.
That is very nice. So you have a lot of things that you're doing during the day. It must be very hard to have time for all of it. But is the sport the main thing in your life? And is the sport something that maybe makes you want to do more, makes you want to be better with all of other things?
Yeah, I think obviously football is my number one thing that I focus on in life. That's the thing that drives me every day, and I think also family is probably just as important as football for me. I think I wouldn't be here without family, so I like to share the responsibility of being there at both times and having training, and then also, like I said, my Baba and Deda are here, and I like to spend time with them. So we go on trips. We went to Novi Sad a couple of days ago, and they showed me around their home, and I think it's important to do both things, and those two things mean most to me. So yeah.
How is it to find, let's say, whole life now when you came here, when you met them, their house and everything? How does it feel? It must be very nice.
Yeah, it's very special. You know, like also there's a place they have in Stublina. It's an hour away from Belgrade, and you know, my dad spent his whole childhood there and driving their tractor, and it's a little farm, you know, with animals, and you know, it was really special to go back there and just visualize him and being a little kid. I know he was very naughty and irresponsible, so I would imagine
You're not like him.
Maybe I don't. Maybe when I was younger, I think I was like that. But yeah, it's really nice and very special for me to reconnect with my dad's roots. Yeah.
How would you describe yourself now? What are the main things about you?
That's a good question. I don't like talking about myself at all. I think with family, I would describe myself as a very family-oriented person. I love to spend time with them and do things with them. I think I have good values in terms of respect for people and not putting people in a box and judging people by their looks or anything. I like to get to know people and give them the benefit of the doubt, and yeah, like I said, respect people. And I think it helps with football because I think I can see myself as quite a hard-working player and a team player that will do anything for the team better than for myself. I would much prefer putting the team first. But yeah, it's a really good question, but that's about it.
You'll think a little bit more about that?
No, I don't. I won't. I don't like talking about myself, but no, it's good.
When I'm listening to you, it seems like you are much older than you are. You have some good values, some things that you know what you want in life. So maybe you should now thank to your parents. I guess they're the responsible ones.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I say all the time, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be the person I am today without my family, and not only my parents but also I said this again, Baba and Deda, and my little sister, and also my uncles, my cousins, all the people that I was brought up around. So I think they have a lot of credit for them, yeah.
And they can be proud of you, I'm sure. And it was very nice speaking to you and getting to know you better in this, let's say, 20 minutes. I hope it was interesting for you to make our fans get to know you better. And for the end, you maybe want to say something to Red Star fans, or maybe we could say hvala in the end together.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Marko, and hvala našim gledalcima.
Hvala.
Hvala vam, dragi gledalci, što ste bili sa nama i u ovom izdanju emisije Indirekt. Potrudili smo se da još bolje predstavimo Marka Stamenića. Ja verujem da ste uživali u njegovoj životnoj priči.